Okay guys, I want to show you how you can quickly set up GraphQL in .NET with Hot Chocolate. People often use GraphQL as REST API and it's bad if you use it in this way. I've seen it many times, but GraphQL is not definitely a REST API killer and REST API is not GraphQL killer. Both they have usages. And there are many libraries you can use in .NET. But I like Hot Chocolate because it's easy to set up. And behind the Hot Chocolate is a company named Chili Cream. Before we start, I already created empty project in .NET, so you don't need to install any package. You only need .NET, and it's all you need. I have .NET 9. So back to the Chili Cream. Chili Cream offers a complete platform. If you used GraphQL in different language, for example in JavaScript, you could see GraphQL, which is user interface which allows you call GraphQL calls. It's similar to Swagger documentation. And Chili Cream offers Hot Chocolate. It's for creating GraphQL services. Strawberry Shake, which is for GraphQL clients. Nitro, previously it was Banana Cake Pop. It's for exploring and testing GraphQL endpoints, which is the GraphQL, the user interface you can see in the JavaScript. And Green Donut, it's for optimized data loading. In more complicated situation in GraphQL, you could face 1 plus n problem, and Green Donut allows you to use data loader, which can cache data. In the application, we will use SQLite. You can easily switch to Postgres or MySQL later if you need. We will install some packages, so I won't use CLA, I won't use CLI, I used Rider. So let's go to Tools, NuGet, and NuGet tool window. The first package is Hot Chocolate ASP.NET Core, this one, and let's install it. The second one is Hot Chocolate Data Entity Framework for data persistation. Install. Microsoft. Okay, I have a typo. Microsoft. This one. I will use 9 because I have .NET 9. I will use version 9. Let's install it. And the last one is Microsoft Entity Framework Core SQLite. Not SQLite Core, just SQLite. The same issue as before. We will use version 9 and install. We have all packages we need, and now I will go to launch settings JSON, and I will change the port to 5111 and 5112. And here in the launch browser, I will use launch URL, which is GraphQL. So when we run the application, we will see GraphQL URL in the browser. And now I will go to apps settings development JSON, and I will set up connection string for SQLite. So connection string default connection, and now we just need data source and the name, for example todos.db. Now we will model the data, so I will create folder models, and the file is todo class, and we will name the table todo with first letter uppercase, and let's go public int id and public string name and public string status, and it's required, and also this one is required, and this one optionally. You can use key, but we don't need to use it because id is recognizable label, so it's okay. Now we need application DB context, which allows us to use API calls with ORM. So let's go to the models and create application DB context, and here we will use DB context options. Let's import it from Microsoft Entity Framework Core, application DB context options, and we will use DB context options. Now we will set up the access point for todos. So db set, let's use the entity todos, and here we will set up set empty set of todos, and we will also set up default todos on db creation, so protected override void on model creating, and now use base on model creating model builder and model builder entity todo, and just create it only if it's not already created. Model builder entity braces has data, and we will create two todos with id1 label bulk dark, and status is none, and it doesn't like it what I typed. Let's use curly braces, and okay, it's messy, and let's duplicate this line and use id2 and the name shopping, and status is different doing, and remove the comma. So this is how we will create our data. Now we are good in the models. Let's go to the program.cs, and we will register to dependency injection container the services. The first step is register if you used Postgres, SQLite, or different database. So builder dot services add db context factory. So we will register to di service application db context, and now we will tell use SQLite options use SQLite builder configuration connection strings. This is the string we defined at the beginning in app settings development JSON data source to those connection string default connection. So this is it. Now builder services add GraphQL server, and now we will tell Hot Chocolate how it should use application DB context. Application DB context and add query type. We need to tell Hot Chocolate how we define the schema. So let's use query, but we don't have query. Okay, let's define query first, and we will go back to the line 12 later. So in the query, let's say we will create services query, and now let's define first thing hello, and now I variable to do get to do's. Because it's get, we will use get, and in the query we will use to do with lowercase t. So application db context return to do's, and now we will return just some specific to do's. Let's say get to do's done, application db context, and filter out other to do's. We will use just to do's with status done. And what does the line 12 do? Without it, you need manually use db context, type of, and application db context, and also you need to say it's scope service. So you don't want to do it like this, so we use the line 12, and now we can import query. Before we start the application, we need to run migrations, and I go to the API, I go to the GraphQL folder and run .NET EF migrations at, let's call it initial. The first problem here is we need to use builder build after the GraphQL setup. So I just move it on the line 15, and the next thing we need to go to application db context and rename this to the label. We need to rename label to name like this, and now we can set up migrations. It passed without error, and now we need to apply the migrations. So let's write .NET EF database update initial. So let's apply it. So you can see we have new file todos.db. I can click on it, connect to SQLite, and now I can see what I have. I have two lines. So ID 1, ID 2, name Volkodog, shopping, status none, doing. So let's try to call the application. I will use HTTPS. So let's run it. It will open GraphQL. So you can see the Nitro. Let's say allow. Now let's go to the create document. You need to be sure in the top right corner you have HTTP endpoint to your API. In my case, it's HTTPS localhost 5111/GraphQL. Without it, it doesn't work. So in the schema, I can see queries. I have 3 queries: hello, to do, and to do's 1. So let's say query, we can name it YouTube, for example, it doesn't matter, and let's type let's type hello, and if we call it, we will get hello world. So if we want to to-dos, we will just use to do. You can see that in query we have get to do and get to do's one. So it's get its query, and we just use to do and to do's done. It used lowercase first letters. So let's type to do, and we need the fields, which is ID, name, and status, and run it. We have two to-dos, and now let's use to-dos one. You can see it tries to autocomplete what we have, and let's run it, and we have empty. Let's go back to to-do and run just ID. So you don't need all fields, you can type any field you want. ID name, if you type just ID, you will get just ID. Okay, that's all, and see you in the next video.